Jesus.
And this is like old Brooklyn.
Some badasses. Yeah, I mean that's I honestly I figured that's where the Kia Boys thing kind of started because of that Kia dealership. That's like right over there.
I tell them all the time, y'all can't write a paragraph, but you can hijack into a car. That's sad.
That's a sick burn.
Isn't it? It's really good.
That's a sick teacher burn.
What did I do today? I was like, I know you can cuss, but can you use big words? That won't hurt them. That was a good one.
You really try and cut through their ego.
You have to be mean. Like, I'm not big. The kids are bigger than me, so I have to be hurtful. It's great.
What grades do you teach?
I teach seniors.
Holy shit.
They're all like 18. They think they're like...
I'm uncomfortable with any high schooler in a Letterman jacket still to this day.
Oh, Cleveland kids are fun. They're wild. And they got a lot of heart, but they're messy. I mean, they're fun. It's not like what I grew up with, so... Yeah. That'll be like the whole transition. Like, my high school schooling was like, not this.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure yours wasn't either. Cleveland schools are like way different.
I mean, I never went to Cleveland schools.
Yeah.
Thus the name of the podcast.
You were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled.
Homeschooled in Ohio?
Yeah.
So it makes you even weirder. Like, I was homeschooled. Oh, where? In LA? Yeah, that's cool.
No,
like,
Parma. Of all places.
You say I was homeschooled in Parma, people are like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, it saved me from being a Parma kid. They throw a parade for my mother every year for raising 2 heterosexual males in Parma, and neither of us became juggalos. So
wow. I was like, I'd like to teach in Parma schools. I bet those kids are fun too. You know what I mean? Like, I can handle that crowd. It's when they're suburban. Like,
it's a different kind of trashy.
Yeah, I can handle it though. It's weird.
It's equally as trashy.
Yeah.
Just a very different.
We get Parma transfers. They're fine. They fit right in. But I like Parma. I've never really been around here.
Where'd you grow up?
So like I was like Army bred. I moved every 4 years. I was born in Watertown, New York, which no one's ever heard of. Then we moved to South Korea. Then we moved to Tennessee. So like some of the formative years. Third to
you never made your way north in Korea?
Huh? Well, you know, there is a funny story about that because like my grandpa's North Korean, and that was like a whole like other thing.
What was the thing about it? Like,
well, he was from the north. My grandmother's from the south.
Oh,
so like that was a thing we found out when I was like a little older, just because you don't ask. But
it's like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, but it was very tragic. So like he was from the north. My grandmother's from the south. He had a whole like wife and kids and family. And then somehow they got separated. He ended up on the south and said, I guess I'll marry this new woman. That's my grandma. And left behind his wife and kids, and he never saw him again.
Wow.
And we're the product of like, well, I guess I'll marry this lady. And like,
well,
how do you
the
imagine?
Border's closed.
Yeah, how do you imagine that turned out? Like, he was the most like miserable person.
Because you know the grass is always greener on the other side.
Well, like I read before, like it was one Korea or two Koreas. Like business people went down south, while like the farmers stayed up north. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it, but
maybe. That's
I just
interesting.
know it was mean, and when people are like North Korea South, I'm like, well, technically, you know, like I'm the scourge. They hate it. Like I don't think probably kill me on sight, right? A little South, a little North, and a little American pig. That's not good.
Man, yeah, you wouldn't survive 10 minutes.
Like you're half white.
Yeah. Check out old Happy over here.
Yeah, well, I should.
Well, isn't that funny? Like. When you're I'm half native, I'm half Arab. Yeah, so when I'm around my Arab family, I'm native. Or I'm around my native family, I'm Arab.
Yeah.
To them. So I'm like not enough to be one or the other, which is an odd dynamic to be in because I'd never feel like a part of either one.
That could be your next podcast. That's like a real struggle. Every mixed kid feels
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I hang out with my Korean family, they're like, oh, you have great manners, you know, for a white person. And then when I hang out with my American family, they're like, ha ha, the only Asian person I know. And I'm like, well, I'm only half. And, like, being in Ohio where there's not a lot of Asians, I've had to be like, I guess I'm the Asian. I guess I'm the only Asian person you know.
The token Asian person.
Yeah, especially, like, when you're teaching kids, too, you're like, you know what Trump said about Asians? We can't say that. You know, like, you do have to start talking about it because they don't know any better. What is it? I had a kid like be like, oh yeah, Chinese people, Asian, Japanese, they're all the same. And I said, yeah, could we say that about Puerto Ricans? He's like, no. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're getting somewhere.
Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, they're all Dominicans.
They're all you can't. And like, you know, like no one ever thinks about it like that. So I say that to the kids, I'm like, you right. But I feel like if I was 100% white, they'd be like, you can't say that to me. Like, you right.
Syrian, Lebanese, Palestinian, they're all the same.
Yeah, you can't say that, but they always say it with Asians. You ever notice that?
Right.
That's why it's good to be mixed, because you're like, I could toe the line. Right? You can't tell me I can't.
That's right. You're a little both.
Yeah.
You're country and Western.
Do you guys need a negotiator? I'm a middleman.
Yeah. You're like, somehow you became, what was it, Virginia? During the South and Northern War in America? Who's neutral? Or you're Switzerland, at least.
Yeah, that's not even America.
Yeah. I kind of jumped from that because I couldn't think of the states. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll go with Switzerland.
Yes, I am. And I'm a Libra, so I don't know if that's relevant to anything, but I'm like...
I don't even know what that means.
People say they're balanced, so it seems to work out. For
the Libras are balanced?
Neutral, they're a scale. It all seems to...
It makes sense why I don't know if I've ever dated a Libra. Seems like anybody who's got like kind of an even keel like mentality or attitude, and they're like, they want nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Who knows?
How weird was it? Because you and Ryan were together for a while.
Yeah.
How weird was it trying to date again?
I don't know. My problem is like I'm too nonchalant in life. People say I'm aloof. I'm just like, I guess I'll date again. That's like a problem. Like, and that's how I've always been. I'm like, oh, I guess we're in love. Like, sometimes it's like a detriment. But I'm like, once I've decided on something, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
All of this suffering happened probably beforehand. And when I made the decision, it's like, okay.
Wow.
You know, like you put yourself through a lot. So once you made a decision, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Move forward.
I mean, that's why when I left Miranda, like, I left her and then never, like, wavered from that. Because I think that's kind of manipulative and shitty to do that to a person. To kind of play with their emotions like that.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, if you don't do this, then I'm going to leave you. And then constantly have that over their head like that is fucked up.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're either with me or you're not with me. What's the nice quote I read? It should be you and them versus the problem, not you versus them. Because, you know, people always butt heads. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. We got to be a team, right?
It's true. That's the whole point of being a quote-unquote partner.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like as I get older and after, like, all the things I've seen, I feel like one thing, too, I think being a teacher has, like, matured me a lot to, like, see things as they are and be like, oh, the things you do have a lasting impact on your children. Mm-hmm. To just be like, okay, it's not worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Not that I, like, would ever have kids, but, like, that kind of thing, it does wear on you. And, you know, for even, like, with my kids, I'm trying to be like, make good decisions, do what makes you happy. And I'm not preaching, like, I'm not doing what I'm saying. You have, like, qualms about that.
Yeah, because then at that point, like, it's kind of like that Michael Jackson song of The Man in the Mirror.
Yes.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
That song's so annoying. I worked at so before I taught in America, my first teaching experience was, like, in South Korea. So it was, like, heaven. And I remember that song because they, like, decided at the English kindergarten I worked at that they were going to do a kindergarten, like, recital. And that's the song they kept playing because that's the song that the kids sing. They're like, I'm a man and a ma. But imagine, like, 30 Korean kindergartners, yeah. And then afterwards, the other class did a dance to Beyonce's.
You taught in Korea?
I taught in Korea for, like, 2 years.
Wow.
And then I moved to America. I started, like, serving again. And then I was like, this is fine, but...
Do you have a dual citizenship?
No, I read into it. It wouldn't be, like, hard to get, but my mom, like, forfeited her citizenships because, like, something related to, like, when my grandfather died and money and, like, you have to forfeit. It wouldn't be too hard. I think they changed the law that I just have to prove that I have some Korean lineage and then I know the culture. And, you know, like, 한국 말해요. Like, I speak Korean. I'm fine.
Right.
I could do it. Like, I lived there for 10 years.
Who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, but also,
Were you
like...
born there?
I was born in New York, but then we
Okay.
moved there, and then we moved back to America, then we moved back there, and then we moved back here, and then after college I said, I'll just go back. And then I
That explains your East Coast attitude.
Yeah, it's probably it. It's just like, what can you do?
You're like, hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah. No, that is very Korea. I remember like first time someone bumps into you, you're like, excuse me. Like,
What part of Korea were you said it's north and south, but like what are your parents both from?
well, my dad's like from Ohio, but my mom grew up like in a country area. I think they grew up like, I don't know if I said it, you'd be like, oh yeah, Paju. But it was like the Paju Donggucheon area. And then they like mostly located in Seoul. I actually went there this summer and for the first time in like 10 years, and it was great.
You know, I went on a date with a girl last night actually, where her family is from like a rural area outside of Seoul.
Country Korean.
Yeah.
That's what we call them. Like you go out. Have you seen that movie Midori? The one with it's got that guy who's in the zombie show, Steve Ewan. Maybe you should watch that. You could be like, oh no, I get what it feels like.
Oh.
And I can connect with her. You could be like, hey, have you ever crying at H Mart? I did. That's the one by.
Then she's gonna accuse me of having an Asian fetish, and then I'm gonna be like,
no.
It's not that deep.
No, I got a half brother, and he has one of those. I'm like, oh, this is weird.
That is weird.
Not my brother, not my personal blood brother. He's like my dad's son.
Oh,
my dad got remarried to an Asian woman and started a new family. I think
it seems like a theme.
There's probably trauma there. It's like, there goes my dad with his beautiful Asian family. I'm here in Ohio.
Your dad was the one who was white, or he was the Asian?
Yeah, he was white, and he was born and raised in Ohio. So like after all of this like experience the world, he's like, I have to go back to Streetsboro now, and that's how we ended up here.
Wow. You met an Asian woman in Streetsboro?
Well, he was stationed in the Army. So it was like, we met in like the 80s, but I don't know. It was like every 4 years we moved. I don't know if that was like an Army thing.
Maybe your dad was just trying to like
no, like the government
skip out
told
on
him.
Families.
No, the government was like, you're leaving or going somewhere else. But he constantly requested Korea. That's why we kept ending up there. Because my mom kept wanting to go back. And, he had family there. And I don't know. Korean family's pretty helpful. Like my white family I see sometimes. My Korean family like lived with us. They're always there.
How old was your mom when she immigrated here?
30s.
30s.
Yeah.
So how old was she when she had you?
She's pretty old. I mean, so like in Korea too, like when she turned 30, you're like really old. Like you're not married and you're 30. Oh my God.
Right.
Like that's how they treat it. And I don't know, she had like my mom was like, she had like a bad attitude, as a woman. They wanted her more subservience in Asian society. So like she had a hard time meeting a man. And then my dad was like, oh, I'll marry her, and
the white guy.
Yeah, she got married like late in her 20s, which I think was unusual because everyone usually marries young. Now it's more common. But yeah, she probably got like 28, 29, 30, and then moved to America, moved to Fort Drum, New York. That's where we were first stationed. Hung out there for a couple years, and we moved back to Seoul, and then we moved back to Tennessee, then we moved back to Korea, we moved to Daegu, and then we moved back to Ohio, and then we stayed in Ohio.
So you probably had the same amount of friend group as a homeschooler would at that point.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep friendships and relationships
the internet,
going.
too.
Yeah. But I get, you're a little younger than me, so I guess the internet was
3 years.
Full swing. 3 years of the internet, it's like a long fucking time.
When did the internet start? Because I don't remember getting on it until I was 14.
In the 60s.
Yeah. Oh, but
yeah.
I grew up in South Korea during the internet boom. So it was faster, and we were like, it was crazy. We were downloading things at high speeds. Our phones were like way more technologically advanced. So when I came to America, I said, what is this? They're still black and white. Like ours were already in color by then.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like
I love that because like so many people in America have like such hubris about like the technology and like having things better than other countries.
We're so far behind.
And then we're so far behind when it comes to shit like that. Even back then is so amazing to me.
I was in Korea 10 years ago, and the subway seats are heated. Like, what are we doing? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, that's a simple one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is nice. Like, have you been on our subways? They're terrifying.
I also love the fact in Asian culture, like if you're not wearing a mask on the fucking subway during like flu season, you're a disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah. What was my favorite thing? Someone was talking too loud on the train when I was just there, and like a guy was eye rolling so hard. He's like, "What do you do? Why are you laughing so loud?" Like you could read his thoughts.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why?"
Like you could feel the
why
tension.
Are you being loud
from
on the
everyone.
train? Like it's so different. Like in America, I have to be like, "Hey, you're in a class and your cell phone's very loud, and there's people around. Also, I'm teaching."
Right.
And then like you're in Korea, they're like, "Why are you laughing so loud? There's other people here." Like you're so polite with other people's space and noise. It's so.
They're self-aware in the right ways.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to be rude to anybody in this room.
Right.
Oh, we're just like, it's all about me in America. It's.
I try to, if I'm in any Asian country, I try to treat it like I'm in a library.
Yeah, it's perfect. No.
Yeah.
Why are we so noisy? We choose the noise.
By that, I mean, I've never actually been to an Asian country, but
should
if
go.
I did, I wanted to go to Japan for our honeymoon really bad, but then COVID happened. Like 6 months after we got married.
Yeah.
It should have been an omen.
I don't know. I liked COVID because like I'm a homebody, so I was like, oh, I can't come out.
When you guys
I wasn't gonna come out anyway.
When you guys moved down the street, that made COVID a lot easier because it was like going over to your guys' place was fun.
Yeah, I mean, right there. But I like COVID because I don't like leaving the house. I'm kind of I didn't need a reason. I was like, oh, I gotta stay inside. I was fine with that.
Yeah, for me, I was like, I've been training for this my entire life.
Yeah, I was like, this is. I don't know. I wonder.
Homeschooled and to just be alone with your own thoughts. Fuck yeah.
I think that's like one thing we probably have in common is like I can entertain myself for hours on end. I could be by myself. Those are things that, I mean, when you have a lot of time on your hand and as a kid, you have to learn how to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a homeschool kid, you're like, I got nothing to do for hours sometimes.
I would do all of my schoolwork Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Thursday through Sunday, I had nothing to do.
I remember like sometimes my mom, when we went to Korea too, my mom would be like, here, kids. And she'd just drop us off with my grandma. My grandma couldn't speak a lick of English. She's like, Mama, bye-bye, right? And that was like, but part of the greatest time because I love my Korean family. But when I think of like, it probably felt like being homeschooled. We had like one book that was in English. I'm like, I guess I'll read this again.
Right.
I had one movie in English. It was Rocket Man, the one with that weird guy from SNL.
Hank.
And he keeps farting in the suit.
Yeah.
It wasn't very popular anywhere else, but it was the one VHS we had.
Harlan Williams.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I've seen it hundreds of times.
I really love him.
Yeah.
He's an amazing stand-up. And
But you see Rocket Man too, right?
Oh,
okay,
100%.
It's not a bad movie. It's the only one I had in the house.
I love that movie.
Yeah. So I had that and just like a science textbook, and I was like, all right, I'll entertain myself with this all summer.
Yeah, it was us with like Tommy Boy or like any kind of movie we'd get like from my cousin's house. Like that movie would be on heavy rotation.
Well, and that's why like, I think it's fun that I teach the kids for your podcast. I'd be like, kids today. And I actually know, I know some, I know plenty. T5, juice, but it's.
You know the slang?
No, well, yes, I do. I know a lot of
That's
the
why
slang.
I'm so relieved that the girl that I went on a date with last night, she's 40.
She doesn't know any of it. I love this slang. I make it uncool. It's so fun.
She doesn't know much about it, like about pop culture in general. I'm like, oh, we're going to get along just fine.
Really? I know all about it. That's my forte.
She knows, like, because I think she moved here when she was like 18 or 19. And so, like, all of her cultural references are from, like, in high school or from, like, Korea. So
I get that.
We're kind of at a level playing field when it comes to, like, what happened culturally back in, like, our youth.
Yeah. No, because I remember, like, when I lived in the 4-year gaps I lived in Korea would be the gaps of pop culture I have. I'm like, I don't remember that. And it's because I wasn't here.
Right.
So I'm like wondering if you could be like, hey, you like Bora? And she might be impressed with that. But like, oh, she was living in Korea.
Yeah.
So she'll probably know who Bora is, HOT. Be like, hey, remember when they had the World Cup there? Huh? That was 2006. She'll remember that.
She was there.
She was
probably there.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I don't know if it's all Koreans, but when I did teach in Korea, all those kids, even if they weren't alive, they know everything about Korean culture. They're like, oh, yeah, the Olympics was in 1988. I said, how would you know that, Richard? You're 6. I'm like, that's the huge difference teaching, like, in a really rigorous academic society versus, like, can you please just like, please do something today? Please, I beg of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, what a change. Like, how was that for you once you got here and then having to teach kids here and then like just I guess the difference in discipline, I guess.
This is where it's good to be mixed, right? Mm-hmm. It feels like it's the same thing. You're like mixing like the rigorous etiquette and then like, all right, I just got to keep these kids like not on fire. Like sometimes I do. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in charge and I don't feel like I should be in charge. But you know, like you handle it and you're like, oh, I did
shake
it.
keys at them.
I'm
be
great.
Like, get the keys.
I know.
Get the keys.
That's the one. I like to do this a lot. Yeah, like it's offsetting. They're like, what is she doing? I guess I should sit. That's the one so I told you, I've been sick. I've had like this wicked stomach ache because I think I'm at the age where like, oh man, maybe I'm getting like one of the itises.
Sure.
You know, there's plenty of them. But I said that to my class. I said, y'all, I'm at 60%. Please go easy on me. And they were fussing at each other. They're like, hey, Zaire, sit down. She got a tummy ache. Thank you, Delante. Yes, it's true. That's like how my day is. No.
That's so funny.
But like teaching Korea the kids are so good. I taught one kid, I taught in an international language kindergarten. So they would get lessons in Korean, and then they would have, you know, literally a white person that came. Like, I worked there, a lady from Chicago worked there, a lady from Ireland, and a guy from England. So, like, they would get exposed to actual, like, American and English accents. Those kids were, like, angels. Never even had to, like, nothing. Like, all right, everyone be good. They were good. I mean, they were babies, so they got, like, bratty, but there was never, like, behavioral issues.
Well, you had to have your education in both places. How was that with you? Like,
I went to I don't know if they're called DOD schools. I went to like Army schools, Army-based schools. And my experience is like, they're crushing it. Because when I came to America, I was advanced and I'm not. Like, I'm just a regular person. And they're like, I remember like so I went to Streetsboro schools. I remember like starting 10th grade. That's when I moved to America. And they were reading the book I read like 2 years ago. I was like, oh, I already read this. I'm not going to tell nobody because I don't want to read it again. But like, it was just something where I'm like, oh man, maybe we were like really advanced. I remember I was like in advanced science. I'm very bad at science, but I had taken all the science courses. I was like in chemistry in 10th grade when I think it was like 11th or 12th grade class, just because I had a really good education in like the Army schools and we were really spoiled. So like, I remember...
Well, I'm sure the classrooms are much smaller, too, than any kind of public schooling would be, even in a place like Streetsboro, which doesn't have, like, the highest amount of population, but can't imagine it would be as small as, like, the amount of people in an Army base.
It was a K to 12. Instead of, like, a K to 8, it was, like, everybody was in one building, kindergarten to 12th grade.
So you're basically homeschooled at that point.
Yeah. But, I mean, again, it was amazing. I didn't appreciate it, and that's why with... You know, when you get old and you're like, oh, these kids don't appreciate shit. And it's because they don't, because your brain's not there. You don't know how to appreciate things at that age. You're still, like, living.
Yeah, I mean, everything's for granted at that point because you didn't know that it wasn't supposed to exist.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? The 7 stages of development, Piaget, something like that, in philosophy.
You would know better than me. I have no idea.
Yeah, I read a book
I'm not that smart.
I read a book on it. But I think about that, like when you're young, you're dumb. You don't appreciate nothing. You just don't because you're like, this is how it always is. Everyone's nice to you. You're young. You're like, things come easy. Everyone's helpful. And then you turn like 18, you're like, no one will help you.
Well, it's the same reason why, like, when I grew up, like, I thought we were poor.
Yeah.
Because my parents kept saying things like, well, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. As it turns out, they were just very cheap.
Like, you weren't even a little poor?
We weren't that poor. We were all right. Like...
You guys were middle class.
Yeah, we were like legitimately middle class and like we're fine. But there was no, like my parents grew up poor. So there wasn't anybody they could turn to if things got fucked up.
Well, when they grow up poor, that's the only way they know to raise you too. And see like.
Well, they're just like anything can go wrong at any point. And when it does, there's no safety net. So they kind of like, they knew that what they were doing, even with the amount of money they made, was still high wire act.
Well, like what that is too is like growing up. When you grow up poor, I'm sure, I don't know, if you grew up like really poor, you like get traumatized. You're like, can't spend anything because as soon as I do, something's going to break down and I'm going to suffer for it. So you just grow up like clutching money.
Right.
Yeah. No, people don't grow out of that trauma. So like, you know, my parents, my dad seemed fine. He was a farm boy, but like my mom grew up like pretty close after the war where things were like still pretty bad. So when we were young, we couldn't get away with anything because her childhood is, you know, that's what your parents compare it to. Like, well, when I was a kid, and like my mom was like, when I was a kid, I had to share a pair of shoes with my 3 brothers. So you're like, all right, well.
Yeah, because the, like, what is it? The Seoul economy boom didn't even happen until like mid-90s or something.
Yeah. So it was like, it was just crazy. We couldn't get away with anything because she would just talk about her childhood. I remember like, she grew up so poor, like they only had 1 pair of shoes between her and her 2 siblings, right? It was like Monday you wear them, Tuesday I wear them, Wednesday they only fit 1 child. That was like the kind of stuff where you're like, I read about that in books, you know, from back in the day about like wartime. I didn't know like people were still living like that. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I had to eat like the family pet once. Like it was that kind of like childhood. So,
yeah, that's not like, and it's so funny that like,
then you raise your kids like that, you know, like they're also going to experience it, and that's not always true.
Yeah, and that like, I guess from the outside looking in, from like I guess an American perspective, like, oh, you ate your pet, like that's gross. But if you're starving and you're that desperate and you're back up, and like you still have an emotional attachment to that pet, like that is a traumatic experience, especially if you're a child.
Yeah,
that is fucking crazy. Like,
and then you raise kids, and you're just like, I'm always going to make sure we
don't have to eat our pet.
Yeah, like it just like triggers you.
Yeah, my parent, especially my dad.
I probably think your parents saw some shit for them to be like that much of pain.
Oh yeah, especially my dad. My dad grew up even poorer than my mother, but I wouldn't say that my mother really grew up like well off. But like her mom owned a grocery store that didn't do well,
but they always had food.
But they always had food. So
it's like why you always work in a restaurant when you're poor, because you always get fed.
Right.
Yeah. So I did all of college.
Yeah. What, like, how hard was it to maintain friendships in both countries, having to bounce between the 2 places?
I guess you don't really.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is about like people, like I remember when I went to go work in Korea, like after I graduated college, definitely had people like from middle school and high school were like, hey, you're in Korea, I'm still there too. Let's meet up. And what are you going to say? No? So like,
right.
I definitely got to see some people. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. And we're not even really close, but it's just like, you know, we're both in Korea. Why not? I'm trying to think of like, I used to be really into writing letters, even when they were like, yeah. So like I would write one of my first friends in Tennessee. Oh, when the internet did come around, remember when MySpace would come around, people would find you. So like, yeah, that was a thing too. I remember people be like, hey, did I have class with you somewhere? Like, so.
And they were probably much better at it because the technology was so much further.
Yeah. So like, I mean, now it's pretty easy if you think about it. Like I could probably like be like, oh yeah, how's that person I went to Daegu, South Korea with? Like, they're fine. They're in.
I got into an argument with somebody about the fact that they're like, oh yeah, we should have closed borders. I was like, why? What would the fucking point be about closed borders when you can literally talk to anybody in every different part of the world at any point in your life? Like the thing in your phone connects you to the entire world. So why the fuck do we think that there's a good idea to have closed borders?
I mean, when anyone says something like that, I'm like, I could tell you never left Ohio. Like you've never, ever challenged yourself or seen anything. And
this person, they should know better. Because they were well-traveled.
Oh, see, that's disappointing. Mm-hmm. It's like that American exceptionalism, maybe.
By well-traveled, too, maybe they just stuck to, like, the touristy type areas and never really, like, they just stuck
rich
to, like,
travel.
Yeah.
You have a tour group.
Nice hotels, major cities, shopping. I can see that being the case for them. I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but it seems...
Or perhaps they're like privileged too. That's the thing sometimes, like not just like white privilege, but if you live a privileged existence, you assume everyone else has had the same conditions that you have, and they're like, oh, why aren't you doing so well? I'm doing well. Like, because you assume everyone's lived this similar situation. That's why, like, you don't know you're poor when you're young because you assume everyone's living like you. And then you're like, oh, wait, you don't have to do that at your house? Like, yeah. Like, because that's like, that's one of the reasons, like, when I got older, I realized my mom thought we were poor. And I don't know if we're poor, but my dad's a GI, so probably. But like we used to wear the same clothes every day. Never thought much of it. In Korea, I don't think it's that big deal, but in America, oh, it's a no-no. It's like you will get bullied if you wear the same things 2 days in a row.
See, I never really had to deal with that much because I was homeschooled from
you could wear
grade.
the same thing all day, every day.
Yeah, and no one would say shit to me about it.
Did you have like homeschool groups? I feel like it would be so lonely.
There was a homeschool group once I was in high school, but I rarely attended it. The only reason we joined it was so I can get into the post-secondary program my sophomore year of high school.
I just feel like it'd probably be lonely being homeschooled.
No, I really didn't feel much loneliness because, you know, it's not like I couldn't go out and see other, but the only thing that was kind of tough is the fact that, like, so in, like, after 12 years old, all the city sports go away. So that community is completely just cut off from me at that point.
Yeah.
So, but I was already kind of getting into skateboarding.
Okay.
So then I got involved with a lot of, like, the countercultural punk kids who also skateboarded because it was a fun physical activity for me to do.
Okay, so you had, like, some sort of connection to just...
People, it was funny because, like, there's still some friends that I see once in a while from, like, when I was younger or, like, you know, middle school or whatever. And they don't know how they know me or where I came from.
You just appeared one day.
I just appeared one day, and then sometimes I would just disappear for a little while.
Well, it seems like your homeschool program, because I don't know, I feel like my only problem with homeschool is, like, I worry that the people who homeschool, like, now are doing, like, how you doing with it? Are you unschooling? Are you really schooling? Because, like, I do, no matter, like, what happens, I do believe, like, education is, like, detrimental. Being able to have, like, I don't even care if you can, like, do math. You have to have reading comprehension.
Yeah.
And that's what I worry with, like, people that are homeschooled, because, you know, sometimes in the public school, we'll get a kid from a charter school, and it's like, boy, you can't do, like, you don't know anything. You don't know how to write your name. Like, what do you do with that? Like, that's educational neglect. You have parents that are, like, not really teaching. It sounds like your parents were, like, educated and had it down, like, because you're articulate, but I'm sure that's why you guys get a bad rap, because there's probably a homeschool kid who was like, I taught myself, and you're like, well, how? Like, right, you're not very bright, and...
Well,
I worry about that.
My parents knew how to play it because they knew my greatest fear was me.
Yeah.
So they knew if they told me, your education is up to you, and it could go one way or the other, but it's going to be your fault if it doesn't go well. And they put that on me as a young kid, and I just freaked out, and I was like, I'm going to fucking study the shit out of this. And, like, you know, that first semester at Tri-C, I struggled because I'm also ADHD.
Yeah.
And, you know, and there's all these people now. There's women there, what I perceive as women, I guess.
It's so much.
They're 18-year-old girls now. But to me, at 16 years old, they were women.
Oh, you went young too. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like 16 being in college. I'm the hot shit. Like, I'm 16. How old are you,
I
ma'am?
was so intimidated by everything because it was such a culture shock. So I struggled big time. By big time, I mean like
socially, maybe.
No, I was getting like C's and D's because I couldn't focus.
Yeah.
And it couldn't move things to the pace that I would normally have been able to move it at. Yeah. Because when I was homeschooled, I can move at any pace I wanted.
I imagine that's another problem you guys have. Yeah. You have to do it on, like, everyone else's time once you get to, like, college.
Which, trying to get into the rhythm of that, like, I struggled with it.
Because you never were kind of given a deadline. How would you know about it then?
Well, I was so far, even if I had a deadline, I was so far ahead of it all the time that it didn't even register to me. Because I'd literally do like 12-hour days, Monday through Wednesday. and just knock it all out. And my parents were like, as long as the grades are good, we don't care.
I feel like primary education has to like get more attention. Like, 'cause if you have that, then you can go to high school. But if you're in high school and you can't read and write, then it's really hard to catch you up.
Yeah, well, I think the retention was probably because I'm like fucking awful at geography.
Yeah.
And I know I took a lot of geography from like junior high to throughout high school and college class geography. And like, I still struggle with it.
Yeah. But that's real though. I feel like, I don't know, all these kids like think.
Or I took 7 years of Spanish.
Yeah.
And I can barely tell you more than a few words.
I know. I want to remind people, like, it's okay to suck at something, right? You passed it, you did it, you learned it. Like, isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that you did it should be enough.
But a lot of people are like, why didn't I get an A? Because you're not an A in Spanish. You're no bueno. Like, what's your question?
But that
We're entitled to it, aren't we? Yeah.
Crazy.
You're probably like entitled, like, I did all of it. Why am I not?
I was getting D's for the first time ever and at Tri-C, and I was like flipping the fuck out.
Because you were probably used to being like a super student?
I was good. I was getting like A's and B's when I was homeschooled. So then because of all the distractions and then struggling with it, I was like, I gotta that last half of that semester, all I did was like buckle down on that because I was freaked out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fuck up my life.
Oh, you see that a lot. What are they, like, a lot of people just like drop out at the beginning because they're like, this is a lot. Because we really do. We need to like put more deadlines, put more reality checks on like 18. Because then your first like big show, a lot of people do fuck up because they're not ready. And there is no like, try again. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in your education, sure, you can go back and do it great again. But like, I feel
Sometimes
like
it's hard when you got all that debt because you made a lot of stupid choices, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I mean, with the post-secondary program, if I didn't hit a certain grade point average, I'd either get kicked out or I had to pay the money for that education.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have that.
So that was also another motivator. Well, also, too, when I got my degree, that was if I didn't maintain like a certain grade, I think it was like a 3.5 grade average, then I would have to pay for that education. But if I had anything higher than that, they would pay for it because it was like a first year of a program.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So that also freaked me out because I didn't want to have to pay that money.
Yeah, no, that's a good motivator. I'm still paying off college.
Fear is a great motivator.
Yeah, no, it works on me all the time.
Yeah.
That's the best one. I think that's the best one for most people.
Fear and anxiety,
yeah.
Which I think a lot of people give anxiety like a bad rap, but honestly, I would say 95% of the things that I've accomplished were due to the fact that I'm a high anxiety individual.
Anxiety was like originally survival. Back when we were cavemen, so
right.
That's all it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, I read something like that. Like, you ever read like the stuff that like people with ADD were like hunter-gatherer types? That's why we're good at like doing a bunch of things. But like if you have us do one thing, like I don't think there's any shame in saying some people are meant to move and groove and some people are meant to sit. Like it's not. We really do try to make it seem like this intense thing, but I don't care what causes it. Just not everyone is meant to be the same. It's not. They'd be like, oh, maybe you had too much sugar as a kid. Maybe I did, but it's all right if I'm a mover and you're a sitter. Like the world's more fun when we have all these different kinds of people, right?
Yes.
That's what I mean. Like, whenever you're hanging with a bunch of people with ADD, it's a good time, right? I don't know how much gets accomplished, but that's why we need our friends who...
Topics don't last long.
Yeah, I could... well, that's like an ADD skill. I can keep on topics. That's why if you ever be a teacher, you're great. You got to jump from topic to topic all day.
Really?
That's how I feel. I feel like, you know what? It makes me great. I forgot what I was doing. Children, help me. Who was paying attention?
Then they're like, oh, shit, what were we doing?
Oh, you weren't. Thanks, Donathan. That's one of my students. What's your name? Donathan. I said, say it again. Jonathan? Donathan. With a D? Okay.
You got it.
All right, Donathan. I just got that. I still can't get over that name. It's like 3 days later, and I'm still chuckling. Donathan. Jonathan with a D. This is not even the weirdest name I've ever heard, but I don't know why. It just tickles me because it's like so close to being proper. I'm Jonathan. With
You're like,
D.
oh, finally an easy one. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh God, I hate reading the Ross the first day of school. I'm like, there's still a girl I can't pronounce her name, so I just say Miss W. How are you? You know, just call them by their last names. Because I like after you ask like 3 times and you have ADD, you're like, oh, I can't ask again.
I'm already shitty with names, so.
And I wrote down a note about how to say it, but I don't understand what I was writing to myself. Like, you ever check your own notes?
Yeah.
I check my notes. I just wrote pink the other day. I was like, pink what? What
Oh
was this
my
supposed to
God.
grab?
I mean, as a stand-up, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, you're like, what was the rest?
What did I write the other day? It was just that, Sigmund Freud. And that's all I wrote.
That was it, yeah.
I had something profound thought about Sigmund Freud that I thought was going to be a really great bit.
And it's lost.
Yeah. No idea.
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. I think that's another thing. By having like ADD, you're an idea man. That's what you excel at. You're going to have 5 more Sigmund Freud ideas, don't worry. For real. Like, I mean, kids
That's true.
What do the kids say? That's called cooking now.
Oh, I like that phrase.
Yeah, I do. I love it when they like, miss your cooking. I'm like, kitchen's open, y'all. I have too much fun.
Kitchen's open, y'all.
What is it? Someone pulled the fire alarm the other day. I said, y'all heard my teaching was my teaching was so lit it caused a fire alarm. And they're like, I hate you. Shut up. Like, but it is funny, right, guys? Like,
that's a great dad joke.
No. It's funny. I literally just said that this morning. Don't worry, guys. My book's coming out soon. It's called Dad Jokes for Moms, but it's written by someone who's not even a parent. And it's just like musings. I don't have my own children, so here's what jokes I would tell if I was a dad. And I had a child because they get all the love. Mom jokes, even the words. I'm like, oh, is she nagging at me?
How is it?
Mom jokes are like hurtful. They're like, you've gained a little weight. Mom, where's the joke?
How has it been dating and then having to explain to people that you don't want to have children? Ever? Maybe it's probably different for women.
Yeah, well, I also feel like you always start with like, do you like money? Do you like having money? And like that's my biggest factor because I grew up in the recession. I don't like being broke. I've lived paycheck to paycheck like for way too long of my life.
It's a lot of hubris for a teacher.
Yeah. Well, I always tell the kids. I've straight up told the kids, I'm going to adopt one day. And
really?
Like, you're my legacy child. Yes.
You're going to adopt?
That's my goal. Just like when I'm ready. Because here's another thing we don't do. You know, like we're all pretty fucked up. We need to go to therapy. We need to get all this stuff fixed. But before we do that, we just have kids and then we just put it on our kids.
Right. So
like I want to make sure I'm like so mentally sound. My life's good. I got everything on lockdown. And then I bring a child in and be like, hey, welcome to the comfort zone.
Yeah, but then you only give them like 20 years of your life and then you die.
It's fine. You're adopted. Like, this is a better life for you. Yeah. You're fine.
That is true.
What were your options? A stable home? But it's only 20 years. It's fine.
Yeah, by the time I think I had reached that point, I'd probably be in my mid-50s.
And that's perfect. You still got enough energy. You can adopt a teenager. They're usually, like, harder to adopt. You know, it's like they're old.
Right.
Then you have someone, you can also leave them all your stuff.
I'm 50. It'll give them 15 good years.
Yeah, and then you get an heir.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a child, so you're my child now.
I'll just leave something to, like, my nephews definitely don't need any money.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be more well off than I ever was. So it is kind of weird knowing that, like, even my nephews, it would be kind of a waste to leave them anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to make up things to leave. Like, my grandpa had, like, a mustard recipe. That's what he left. It was, like, a big thing. Like, who's getting grandpa's mustard recipe? You know? Why can't I have that?
Yeah, that's all my nephews are getting is a good recipe to something.
Who's getting the mustard recipe? No, but, like, I mean, I see a lot of kids, like, who, well, because, like, where I teach, too, I see a bunch of kids who are foster kids, a bunch of kids who are homeless, and I'm like, hey, that's a good kid. That's a cool kid. If I get one, like, I've said it to them to their faces, if I had a kid like you, I would happily foster.
See, I don't even know if I could get to that point because I'm already, like, I have a dog, and that alone has made me a very anxious person of, like, I got to get home with my dog. I got to take care of my dog. And I'm like, I have to keep this dog alive, and that, like, freaks me out. Like, so to have to keep a human being alive or, like, cared for.
That's why you get an older one. They're self-sustainable. You just have to guide them and mentor them. Like, I wouldn't do that. That's what I said today. I heard you got banned from DoorDash for stealing food. I wouldn't do that. See, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, but you're a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm still allowed to like not interact. I don't have the only interaction I have with children are my nephews.
Yeah.
And even that's like sparingly because my sister grew up, or my sister's husband and her are both very like crazy religious. So it's kind of, they really don't want me to be around their child or their children unsupervised because they're worried I'm going to like teach them about Satan or something.
You're gonna be like, hey guys, now your parents gone, Satan rocks. But like, think of all the great wisdom you have and all the things you do. Be like, you know what? What if I had like, when I'm ready, what if I fostered a kid? I can get him a good life. I'm helping somebody out. And also, I'm enriching myself, right? Because
I do like the idea of having somebody at the last minute, like having like, look, I'm old, I'm decrepit, I'm on my way out. You're going to have to take care of me for the last few years of my life.
And you can have all my waving cats. Like, you know, like you want somebody to get them or it's going to Goodwill.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just adopt one day. Why not? You adopt someone old. Then you don't have to change their diapers. Good quality of life. A bond. And the world needs more of that. I mean, we know that.
They just got to know how to play chess. That's a requirement.
Well, you could you could teach them. And they'll be like, yeah, that was my foster dad. He taught me how to play chess. And he left me all those things, like all those statues and that Sigmund Freud action figure that I'll cherish forever.
He left me all of his tiddlywinks.
Yeah. They would have gone to Goodwill.
Because I don't like saying tchotchkes because that seems like a little weird to me, but I love saying tiddlywinks.
Tchotchkes. Well, you can't say like ditty anymore.
No.
Yeah. Not even you're like, I want to sing a little ditty. You can't. He ruined the word.
He ruined the word.
I'm surprised you can get away with tiddlywinks. It's pretty close. It feels very ditty.
Diddlywinks.
Whoa! He got 4 years. That's my favorite thing.
So when you were growing up in the Army base, what were your friendships like with that even? Like, because there are also Army kids there, I'm assuming. So did everyone have this attitude of like, yeah, I know you now, but I know there's a chance I won't know you a year from now? Because I think about myself who like, I moved from Parma to Parma Heights. And then all the Parma people I never talked to ever again.
Yeah, because once you're out of sight, you're out of mind. Mm-hmm. But that's how growing up is. I don't really think there's like anything negative to it. And I feel like when you're young, you don't have foresight. You're just like, I just care about right now and what's happening immediately. You're not like, oh man, I'm not going to know you in 4 years because you don't think like that. You probably don't know exactly when you're moving. So like, you probably didn't know, but like, hey, I'm about to move in like a year, so I'm going to start appreciating it now.
Yeah, my parents are saving up for a new home.
Yeah, so like if you don't have context, you can't even really appreciate it. Like, I'm going to move, and
so we got
there's
2
always
more
too
years.
Much happening.
We got 2 more years together, Bobby Gamola.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah. No, but everyone got along pretty easy because I feel like when in life, I'll meet someone, they'll be like, oh, I'm a military brat. I'm like, oh, I could tell. Because they're always, like, outgoing people because they had to be. You know, like, when you move from school to school, like, you either, become very reserved or you just become outgoing. Like, there's 2 forms of life. You're like, I don't give a fuck. Hey, how are you? Or just like, it's too much. I think that's how all military brats, end up. Really out there or, like, really reserved. There's, like, I don't know. No.
How do you feel like that has affected your relationships as an adult?
Ooh, I think my problem is, like, I could just move. Like, that's, like, a mindset I have. Like, I could just move.
I think that's why you're kind of, like, so, I guess, because you were saying earlier, like, a very, like, go with the flow, easygoing type person. We're like, oh, I guess we're, like, together now or whatever.
Well, I think, too, like, Ohio's relatively small, but, like, when you live in, like, a big city, and, like, that's something I got to do a lot as a kid. You realize nobody knows who I am. Nobody's going to remember me. And I think that's, like, almost a freeing thing. You're like, oh, I could just do whatever I wanted. So, like, it is weird. Like, I lived in Lakewood, I just moved to Brooklyn. It feels like it's a whole different place. It is really surprising. Like, if you just go a small place, like, you just change your life. And sometimes that's what, like, I hate to say it, it's like the quitter's way, but it's like when you're, oh, I want to change something, you cut your hair. It's like the quickest way to do something is just to move.
Yeah.
And I think if you've never moved or you've never had a challenge like that, you're like, oh, I can never leave this place. My grandma, like, but when you grow up moving a lot, you're like, oh, let me get out of here. It's not hard to move on or like just move because you've done it so many times.
Then why wasn't that like the thing that you did once you got divorced?
No, I mean, I moved to a different city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's still like, a few miles away from the city we were in. So
I don't know if you know how often I leave the house. Like, I never go to Lakewood now. Like, it's just.
Yeah, you never really
far.
left the house even when you were in Lakewood.
It's just, I don't like. Yeah. I'm fine.
I had just assumed that transferred over to the new place.
Yeah, no, I love being at home. I'm a homebody. Maybe that's like a military thing too. Like you move around so a lot. Like I used to move around a lot. So like now I'm just like, I have a home. I love my home. Everything I want, I make it in there. And I also hate driving. That's really why I don't like going anywhere. I hate to drive. I don't know if you ever saw like an ADHD specialist, but like I saw one of those people once and they're like, oh, you're bad at driving? That's an ADD thing because it's overstimulating. Yeah, so like most of the time I'm like, oh, that's 15 minutes away. How bad do I want to go to it? This was the 9-minute drive. That's the first thing I do is like, how far is it? Whenever I'm like applying for a job, I'm like, how many minutes? Like, oh, my job is 4 minutes away from like
where you live
every day. Yeah. So yeah, if I could walk there, I'll walk there. If I have to drive there.
Do you think that's ADHD or just from growing up in New York or having such ties to New York?
It's probably more like growing up in Seoul. Like as soon as I graduated college, the first thing I did was like, oh, let me start my adult life in Korea where I can like get my legs can take me anywhere.
Yeah.
I wish Ohio was like that. That would be my dream if I could have more like public
transportation or
that
like
just
a good
works efficiently,
subway system,
or like the sidewalks aren't messed up, or you're just not walking like in long slabs of just like neighborhoods. There's like things around. Like we can have a center where things are, and then like the neighborhoods outside. We everything's car focused here. But I love to walk. Yeah,
that's why I love moving to, because like when Miranda and I separated, our house was in Old Brooklyn, which I liked living in Old Brooklyn because you're so close to literally anywhere. But Tremont's just a little bit north, like a mile or two north. And it's the same thing, but things are actually walkable too.
Yeah.
Like there's like 3 different coffee shops I can walk to. There's like, and then once you get over the bridge, there's all those
sort of
restaurants.
Life, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We really have that in Lakewood. But I don't know. That's like how I prefer to live. I like, if I can walk there, I would be happier. If like, I don't know, if people like want to see me, they should just move next door. I probably see them all the time. Just like, I like to have my home location. But I also feel like I bought a house and I'm like cheap. So I'm like, I spent so much money on this. I am going to.
Sure. That's kind of where I was at. Like, especially when we first moved there, like I did not leave that house for like a good 3 months. Like, because I just wanted to get all the stuff done. Because I knew once I went back to like my normal schedule, I was going to be out of that house a lot.
It's a sanctuary, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's like from our youth too. You move around a lot. So when you finally do have a home, you're like, this is my sanctuary. I love being at home.
I mean, thankfully, I didn't move around a lot when I was younger. I mean, I moved from California to here, but I was like 3 months old. So I have zero recollection of being in LA. I guess, we did travel a little bit, but it was mostly like go to see family in different parts of the country, whether it be LA, North Dakota, or New York. But most of my traveling was done a lot in my 20s when I was in a touring band.
Yeah, that's probably
And then once we all got into our like mid-30s and actually had comfortable home lives again, it was really hard to justify going on a tour.
I get it.
Like especially towards the end, like we got offered a tour and the money was okay, but I'm like, I really just don't want to stay in shitty motels.
That's what it is. Like, I think it's like one of the reasons I hate leaving my home. Like, I'm comfy. And I'm going to go out there, pay price. This is probably expensive. There's probably nowhere to park. I need to be better about it. That's why I came out. I was like, I'm going to leave my house once a week or once a month. But I just think things are like too expensive too.
That night, I don't know. Sometimes I do get the antsy, like, am I missing out on something? And then I'll go to it and be like, why am I here?
I could be at my house
I could
with
be
my
home.
dog.
You're right.
And he's great. Yeah,
I do love my dog.
I do.
Mr. Buckley?
Yeah, I like being with my dog too.
Yeah, I got Buckley. She got Bowser.
It's hard to separate dogs. Were they okay?
They were already not getting along once we moved to the new house.
Okay.
They got into like a really bad spat. And like Buckley nearly killed Bowser.
Yeah, that's less.
So we had to like,
yeah,
constantly swap them out. And that was another, I mean, I slept on the couch for 2 years of my marriage. Like,
well, I'm glad you're doing better, right?
Objectively, my life is significantly better because of the fact I get to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah, that's what I hope. I don't really talk to him, but always hope he's doing good because that's what a good situation is. It's not worth, again, toiling over. So I'm like, I wish him all the best. I hope he has a good life. I hope he's doing well.
I mean, I hope the same for Miranda for sure. But the thing is why we couldn't communicate anymore because of her actions of how things ended.
Yeah.
And it basically was like, they essentially assassinated me out of their lives.
Yeah.
Because of the actions that a lot of people took during that time. And I am actually kind of thankful for it.
Yeah.
Because I get to be like, you know what, I do hope that their lives are good, but I don't ever have to interact with them ever again.
Yeah.
And I have nothing in the rearview mirror. And I was just so fucking like insecure and such a wreck in that marriage that it wouldn't have taken much for me to crumble and give in and go back to that unhealthy relationship, that she thankfully never gave me that reason.
Yeah.
She never once gave me a reason to doubt my decision, even though all I was filled with was insecurity and doubt.
Yeah. Well, good for you that she didn't, because you get, people toy with people. They like that power play of having someone wrapped around their finger. And I don't like that people do that, and I would never do that. I'm glad that didn't happen to you, because that's how people get, fucked up, when you keep messing with them.
Yeah, and that's
when they're already, broken.
That's why once I told her I was leaving, I left. I didn't come. I actually had to go back to break up with her a second time.
Yeah.
That's how unheard I was in that relationship, because she wrote me a letter, and in that letter it made it like she was talking as if we were still together.
Yeah.
And so I had my mother read it, and then I had my psychiatrist read it, and they're like, yeah, you got to go back and break up with her again because she thinks you guys are still together. And then you haven't left. It's almost like I was on a vacation or something. You
guys were on a break or something.
Yeah, or I was out of town.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I feel like I got to a point where life has been really hard. I've gone through all this shit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. What else? And at that point, you're just like, nothing can. I don't think I can experience worse than I've already have. So.
What do you mean by that?
Just in life, I feel like everything from things I've seen at my job to the things I've seen in my life to even going through something like that kind of experience with a divorce. I don't know. I feel like you have to at some point be like, oh man, I got through everything and I'm fine. And then you just start using that as oh, it's gonna be okay. Because I remember I used to go to therapy till I aged them all out. I aged out all my therapists. They all retired on me. Can't keep doing it for another 20 years, man.
I'm worried about mine currently.
Both of them aged out. I was then I tried a new one. I was like, this is not.
Yeah.
I just won't go anymore.
They got to be an older woman.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was an older woman. And then I had what is it? You have the therapist and you have the specialist. They made that. I think it was an Obama thing. You have to have two. Right?
I just had a psychiatrist.
Really? I used to see a counselor and then an ADHD specialist.
Oh, maybe. I mean...
That was fun. I was like, he's a specialist.
Maybe I aged out of that. I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, so I got too old and they both retired. Bless them. But they were once you, my therapist said something once, once you realize you're just going around in the circle and it's just the same exact scenarios, you just have more experience and skill. Yeah.
That's why I was thankful I've been going to therapy since 2011, because once things happened between Miranda and I had a lot of tools available to me to deal with those things at that point. I did switch therapists because I do think that, like, maybe the reason why that marriage probably lasted longer than it should have is because of my last therapist. But
yeah.
I don't know that to be a fact, but
you know what,
felt that way.
You need somebody that's pushing you. I mean, you have some sense of like, I need something else. I need something more, and that's a valid like.
What I realize now with the new therapist or psychiatrist, I keep calling her a therapist, and then
It's the same thing to me in my head. They're both listening to me talk about my feelings. Right?
yeah, feelings.
There's
lady.
no distinction.
Right.
Yeah, there's no distinction.
It feels the same to
Yeah.
me. It's just she's able to prescribe me the happy pills.
Yeah.
She gives me the happy pills.
No, but there's always a shortage. No, I'm just kidding. But there is. Yeah, I don't know. You just get over it. Cause like, what is that? I got a stomach ache, so I can't get too stressed. My blood pressure is like high. So I'm like, at some point, I just gotta chill and stop caring. And maybe that's what you do when you get older. You know? You know, old people are always like, I'm fine. They're chilling on the beach. They're really slow at the red light.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there. No cares.
That's an interesting perspective on it. Like, because of the fact they know that, like, life at that point, like, because, you know, you think about it the way you were as a kid, everything was so serious and everything was traumatic and new and weird. And now that we're a little bit older, things are a little less serious about things, or you don't really take things quite as hard as you used to. So I can't imagine, like, now that we're, 20 years down the road, how silly this shit would be.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, like, I mean, like, remember, put yourself where you first were when you were, like, thinking about separating. You probably were like, oh, this is the end of the world. And you're like, years later, you come out from, you're like, oh, I was fine. Like, I wasn't fine, but, like, it was fine. It's going to get you here. You just have to remember the end game and always be like, okay, this too shall pass. As stupid as that is. And that's super helpful.
Like, it's so funny, too, because, like, they kind of held against me, like, the fact that I had moved, like, when I had decided I was leaving Miranda, I had moved, she was, like, out of town, and I moved our guns to my cousin's house and, like, some clothes to my parents' house. And that was, like, always used against me, like, oh, you left while I was away, and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I still came back and had the conversation with her for 8 hours.
I was going to be like, if I was going to leave anyways, why does it matter how I left? Like, if it's going to happen inevitably.
I thought it would help not be so traumatic for her to, like, watch me packing.
It's a better choice, but, it's easy to, like, complain about anything in terms of, like, well, you would have been bad if you stayed. It would have been bad if you left. You can't win. Yeah. So, again, that one's probably not worth stressing on. That's why I'm like, man, I only got so much stress to give today.
Yeah. And that's true. But it's funny that, like, that's something that she would, like, hold against me. And then now it's like, what was I supposed to do in that situation? Like,
yeah.
Just be kind of shitty about it and make you watch me pack up my shit and leave?
No. And you're not motivated by hate, and that's weird in this modern day world. You have to have, I think it's like this generation too, you have to have, like, an audience all the time, and you didn't want an audience for, like, what you were doing, right? Like, I don't need you to see what I'm doing to, like, hurt you, but that's not uncommon for people to, like, want to be like, hey, pay attention to me as I'm, like, ripping your heart out, or pay attention, I'm packing up, I need you to see this. You didn't want to put anybody through that.
No.
I mean, I feel like I'm the same way. I just wish more people were like that, where I'm like, just because I'm hurting doesn't mean I want to put out hurt, like, because it doesn't feel that good.
No. Yeah. It's hard. Sometimes it's easier being the breakup-y than the breakup-er.
Absolutely, because it's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I get to be a victim.
And now, like, I don't want to pack my stuff in front of you because I'm not trying to hurt you even more. So, like, everything was just done. So, like, I don't know.
I tried really hard. I really did. And, like, a lot of the things that letting her have everything when I left, like, all I took was Buckley and a dresser.
Yeah.
That's everything I took out of that house.
Yeah.
And she got everything else. Everything in it was hers. And like, I did that and like let her walk away from some of the debt we were in. Or not even some, all of the debt we were in, because it was under my credit cards, was because I was hoping to maintain my friendships in the process of it. But she had been able to, I guess, control the narrative or something with them to a point where, like, no matter what I did, I was still going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, you can't win.
No, and it sucked. But, you know, that's another reason why I like my new therapist, because I will, in these types of situations, it's how, like, my family handles things. It's how I brought up to handle things. It's how I normally operate, is that I hide behind humor.
Yeah.
And I will make jokes because I'm uncomfortable or like I'm sad or whatever. And she won't let me get away with that.
Yeah.
Like even today the last session I made a joke about how sometimes I feel like a luxury car where I'm like, you know, nice and sleek and strong on the outside, but on the inside it's just pure comfort and a bunch of features that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
So like, and she was like, I thought it was really funny. And she's like, you know, that's not going to work on me. And that's why I think she's cool, because I'm like, okay, good. She's not going to let me get away with that, where I think the other person would have.
You were like, I thought it was so smart.
I was.
Funny. I think that's good, though. You want someone to challenge you. And I think that's honest, earnest growth if you want the challenge. And again, right, that means you want to be better. I feel like...
Well, that's all I'm interested in. I'm only interested in the truth.
Yeah.
Even if it's meant not flattering to me. You know what I mean? I will tell her things that, like, I knew I fucked up. What I did was not flattering, did not put me in a good light, but it was the honest truth of what I did.
Yeah.
And I will tell her those things because the only thing I'm really interested in is growing and the truth.
Yeah.
Even at my own detriment.
I just feel like I had such a chaotic life, like most of my life, that I'm just like, even like my child, I'm like, I don't know. Peace and serenity is like all I prioritize. And I think, because, you know, I work with a lot of children who come from like very chaotic situations. I see a lot of myself like, oh, you can, I don't know if your parents are like nice to each other, but like, oh, I see a lot of these kids who like are raised by people who fight all the time and they think that's love, or vice versa. So you see the traps in yourself. Like,
well, my parents, they're still together. They just celebrated 40 years of marital bliss. And they are very realistic about it, though. That's one thing I like about their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they made it very clear to, like, me and my siblings, like, there's a chance you may never find what they have.
That's so nice, though. But
I'm glad they said that. I'm so thankful.
You have an example of what a good relationship looks like. So again, when you're in a relationship that's not working out, you're like, I know what this should be like, instead of like, I think a lot of people, like myself included, and like a lot of the kids I work with, the first people that put us down are our family. So we learn that like, oh, the people that love you hurt you, and that's part of that's normal.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be, right? The people that love you should, like, then I mean, there is like unconditional love, but like our family shouldn't be the people that hurt us the most, right?
Right.
And that's what a lot of us learn, especially like people at a young age. That's why they're with people who are shitty for them. You're like, oh, well, what's the big? I've been taught that it's okay that you hurt me because I love you and you love me, and at some point you would never let anybody else do that to you.
And that's, I think my current therapist is trying to get across is the fact that, like, I will let people do that shit to me for a very long time. And because I think that because they love me, it'll get better. You
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that when I found that out, well, like, I think because when I teach the kids, I'm like, oh my God, you're so cliche, right? But I'm like, that was the big one I had. I was like, because my parents fought all the time. I had no good examples of what like a marriage or a relationship should look like. That even when I was young, I'm like, I thought chaotic relationships were like more fun because you're like, oh, that's passion, that's love. And then you grow up, you're like, oh, that was toxic, right?
Sure.
You learn everything you know when you're young. So like you seem to have very stable like role models, at least, to be like, oh, I should leave this marriage because that's not what comfort looks like. for me, like, I stayed in a lot of situations where I stayed longer than I needed to because that's what I grew up with. My parents are still together, and they should not be. They should have, like, gotten divorced. They should never gotten married, to be honest. Like, they don't get along. I don't even know what they have in common. Like, she's born and raised in South Korea. He's from Ohio. Like, I don't know what they talk about.
You know what they have in common?
No.
A bank account.
Yeah, and my mom doesn't work. Like, my dad, like, my mom was a housewife. I don't know. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like...
Yeah, it's interesting being, like, I guess... But I guess in retrospect, you kind of also got an example of what's not a healthy relationship.
But how do you know that as a kid? You only know what you know. So you're like, that's how families work. And if you come from a family where, like, everything's chaotic or, you know, your mom's always scolding you, then you think this is love. Love is fuss and love is...
Well, I was going to say television, but you also didn't grow up with a lot of American television.
Yeah, no, I remember, I remember when, like, Napster and Kazaa started coming out. I'm like, oh, I can download current television. I remember when Survivor came out because I moved right before the finale, and I was like, God damn it. Like, I'm 10. Like, who won? Richard? We didn't know until, like, 2 days later. So I had to, like, go to America and be like, all right, who won Survivor? They're like, we don't know yet. We got to wait for the AFK. Like, you got to wait 2 days. So, yeah, we just got a lot of reruns, which isn't bad. I love, like, I mean, you sound like you could do it, too, because you didn't have a lot growing up. I could watch the same thing 15 times and never get bored because that's how I was raised. Like, oh, it's the same thing again? All right, let me just sit down. Like,
I watched Wayne's World 3 times.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's
my favorite movie. But
and when you start dating, you meet people. They're like, "Why are you watching the same exact thing?" Like, mind your business. Who cares?
Yeah, and also too, like, it's just on to be on.
It's on to be on, but also like, what I like to have the noise. I already know this. I've seen it millions of times.
I'm working on something else, like.
But you probably grew up with like
alone,
the one movie.
I'm not really bothering anybody anymore by that.
I feel like people are like, that's a weird one. They're like, you could watch the same thing. Yeah, it's how I grew up. I only had one thing. So, like, I'm like, oh,
that's the one thing I wish I would have known was the fact that living alone and by myself is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
At first, I did not like it. At first, I was like, oh, I'm lonely and this sucks. I live by myself. I'm always alone. And then a friend had to move in for like 4 days.
Yeah.
While they're like, before they could, like, their lease was up. So they had to move out, but it was 4 days before they could move into their new place in a different city.
Yeah.
So they just stayed with me for 4 days, and I was only home for 2 of them. And I was, like, ready to kick this person the fuck out of my house. Like,
honestly, it's probably because you had a lot of, like, alone time when you were a kid. I'm surprised that you think you didn't like it. Like,
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I always
you can always entertain yourself. Like, you ran your own lessons. Like,
but I always lived with somebody. Like, when I lived with my family, obviously I had siblings and parents, and then I moved in with roommates, and then moved in with roommates, and then moved in with roommates. And the first time I actually, like, lived quote unquote alone was with my wife.
Yeah.
So I never actually lived to myself, I guess, ever.
It is nice.
And that's been a nice lesson of, like, oh, I'm not some of the things that I thought I was. And I do like being home by myself.
You get it. See, why would you want to get it, right? It's like, nice. Wow, this is, my 2 dogs are here.
Well, just one.
See, I have a second dog.
I just have Buckley.
Yeah, I have 2 schnauzers.
Because otherwise, but I don't know. It's a weird thing about Buckley is that I know that most of the problems that Buckley had were mostly defending himself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's bad with other dogs. I know he's now, like, when we walk around the neighborhood.
Is he older?
Yeah, he's like 10.
You could probably, like, it's a 50-50. I was like, you can introduce a puppy that will keep him around longer because it helps him get more exercise. That's why I got one, because, like, Foo's really old, so we, like, got a younger dog. Mm-hmm. But, like, if Buckley doesn't like other dogs, then you're going to ruin his golden years. Like, it's a real 50-50.
Yeah, I don't think he'd like another dog. Yeah. And honestly, he's been so happy with, like, not having to be swapped out every few hours, because that's what we were having to do. We had to keep them separated constantly.
It's no way to live.
Yeah. It was a pretty... For the pets, it was a very it was a toxic living situation for everybody. I think she would agree with me now. Like, she was hurt when it was happening.
Of course, yeah.
But I think now that even her life's a lot better with this new situation.
That's what I hope. Like, I mean, that's how you know that you're in a good place, like, for you personally, too, is just you want everyone to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, that's all I wanted to begin with.
I don't know, because it's like, I don't know. Ryan's lucky I am the way, because I'm not a bitter person, but, like, can you imagine? Like, I've seen some very bad situations where, like, people really want to hurt each other. I can't imagine, like, already being in pain and then wanting to constantly tear someone else down. That just seems like a lot of energy I don't have right now.
Yeah.
My blood pressure is too high. I have to bring it down, you know?
Your stomach hurts.
I was like, Kid, stop. You're too noisy. Ow.
Yeah, you don't want to give yourself a BM in the middle of an argument.
Hey, you don't know what kind of itis I have.
Yeah.
I have one of them.
You got to wait for the diagnosis first before you get in any more arguments.
6'7". Don't do that. They do like 6'7". They're like, oh, God, I love teen slang. It's so fun.
Yeah, I think that's cool that you at least know the terms. Like, I'm completely lost.
Oh, I'm so good at it.
I was seeing a woman who was, she was like 32, but like that seemed like even like a huge cultural shift to me. Because like she was saying things where I was like, oh yeah, and then have to like go to the bathroom and look it up.
remember, if you're like me, where you like to do dad jokes, you're like, all of these are ripe. These are like, this is an opportunity.
Yes.
I can't wait to say this later and make you uncomfortable. Like, oh, please
well, as
stop.
a comedian,
You're making it uncool. Yeah.
As a comedian, yes, I get to do some of the routine, and to them, it just seems like I'm talking. I'm very funny.
What's the one? There's one that's like, put the fries in the bag. Let me just shut up. I'm like, that's a lot of words, guys. Just
yeah.
They used to, instead of saying loser, they just say, why you being L? It's like, your generation's so lazy. You just say the whole word.
Yeah, say the
like
whole
you just said a
word.
letter. Miss, you a W. Like, it's L and W, or like now they don't say loser, winner. You're L or W. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate this group. I hate this generation. But
W.
see, look, that's so fun. Like,
was
as
this
a dad,
Sesame Street?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I think Sesame Street's over now.
Is it? I don't know.
It was on the chopping block.
I've been on a 5-month-long news detox.
Yeah.
Because I get worked up over shit, and I tend to get...
We're at that age, you gotta watch your blood pressure, you gotta watch your gut work. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, maybe that's what happened to me. I'm like, wow, my gut's on fire, like, everything hurts. I'm not that mad. I used to, like, even like as a teacher, I'm like, you know what? I can only do what I'm gonna do today. As
much as I love your ex-husband, he can be a lot.
Yeah. I hope he's doing well, too.
He is. He's doing well. He's doing actually really well. But he can be... I thought I got worked up about shit tenfold for him.
Yeah.
And he can be very passionate.
About, like, yeah.
That's a light way to put it. But to be in a relationship with somebody like that who are constantly, like... going off on these anger rants.
Yeah. I would always say that. I was like, man, yeah, like, so, but, like, I know the world is doomed, but what do you want from the world? Because it is hard if you're that intelligent and you're aware that, like, everything's fucked, to be like, well, let me just enjoy my soup, but you got to. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way to live if you're constantly just, like, tense and angry.
Or if, like, people, like, would be like, oh, the Epstein. He's like, I knew about that 10 years. I know. Like, you know, it's like,
yeah. All
these people are like, yes, I know the CIA introduced, yes, I know you knew. And I'm sorry everyone's just catching up to it. But that's the way it's always going to be. Like, yeah.
We've had some pretty, like, even just in this room alone when Teach These Devils did their podcast here, like, we've had some pretty intense arguments to a point, like, we couldn't release the episodes.
I could believe it.
Like, he's
really smart, but you also have to be, like, kind of a realist and kind of, like, find the compromise, and he doesn't know how to find a compromise.
Ryan's an incredibly intelligent individual. He is. And, like, I obviously, like, I love him. He's a great guy. He's one of my good friends. But sometimes, like, you know, and I'm not saying this because I don't do this. I do this, is that sometimes I get so worked up over something I have zero control over, and there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah.
And it's only making my life more difficult and harder, that I'm stewing in something that I can't do anything about.
Yeah.
And that I think there was a time where I was almost like addicted to the helplessness.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like, because I couldn't do anything, I could just be mad about it. And then, like, that becomes a different kind of dopamine hit. So, like, I used to be an addict. So, where I can find that dopamine, whether it's good or bad, I'm going to find that fucking dopamine. And, like, to be mad about, like, something Trump said or whatever was, for better or worse, was a pretty good dopamine hit because you were justified.
Find it everywhere, too.
Because you're justified.
And you are. The world is on fire, and we should stop acting normal. But at the end of the day, also, I'm one person. I don't know what I'm supposed to, like, why you could feel...
Well, yeah, and why am I allowing it to ruin my life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're just winning at that point. Yeah. I've allowed them to win.
Yeah, I used to say it to them all
on a micro level.
I was like, but your life's good. Like, I don't know.
I think he's a lot... I can honestly say he's a lot calmer the last few times I've hung out with him than he has been in a long time.
Good for him. So I don't want. It's just like everyone should have a good life. This world is so chaotic that it's all about just like finding your space and vibe and having a nice time.
Yeah, I think one thing I also related to you about was like the whole kind of like, oh, we're this now. That was kind of my relationship with Miranda. Was we were kind of just like we started like we couldn't tell you the first time like we dated or like when we started or anything because it started off as a very casual relationship of like more of a hang and bang or like a friends with benefits type thing.
Well, and then the years blend and you're like, well, we have all these years. We don't want to quit on each other. It's important. And
well, that and like, then it went from that to like, oh, we've been doing this now for 6 months and we haven't been seeing anyone else during that time. So I guess now we're in a relationship. And then she moved in with me 6 months after we started like up. And then, 12 years later, we're getting divorced. Which honestly, I have no regrets. I really don't. I've never deleted a single photo out of my phone. I've never deleted a single post that she was on because I don't have
I feel
any
like
resentment.
Hate is still love. So like if you hate someone, you're still obsessed with them in my mind. So you know what I mean? Like if you actively hate someone, they're still taking space in your heart, even if it's a negative. When you love someone, it's the same thing. So for you to like spend time out of your day to go through and delete everything, you're still like hooked on this person.
Yeah.
To just be like, oh, like, I mean, I don't go through and delete everything too, because I'm not like, oh, first off, I'm lazy. I have ADD. You think I check my inbox? Mm-hmm. So, like, me going back through my photos and deliberately deleting a picture is me doing it because I feel like I have to erase you from my life.
The only thing I did was I changed her last name back to her maiden name.
Yeah, you should.
Because I paid $1,000 for that to happen. So.
Good thing I had the foresight of, like, I didn't want to change my name. I don't want to ruin the alliteration of it.
That's
so I
true.
said, I don't want to change my name because I was never even, when I was young, I'm never a fan of that. I was like, no, this is my name. Why am I changing it?
Yeah.
It's a great name. SSS. Saracen Spinelli, like, flows nice. I'm not messing with that.
Right.
I'm not getting my email changed at my job. You know what I mean? I'm not. And
that you saved yourself a lot of money both times.
Because I don't like paperwork. That's why I was like, I am not doing that.
You're a teacher.
No, still, I don't like paperwork. I should write you up. I don't want to have to do that paperwork, okay? So just sit down. Sit down. You know, my really stomach hurts.
My stomach hurts.
Yeah, I have a girl issue with those kids. I do. I feel like I'm in my 10th year. I love my job. Shit's always going crazy with, like, politics. Like, I'm a teacher. I'm not a politician, but I'm always dealing with politics, and it feels like unfair. I'm not like...
It's a government-funded system.
Yeah. But, like, I'm never, like, doing anything inappropriate or, like, teaching them to be gay. And, like, we're in Ohio, so we don't have to worry about that so much in urban schools. But they're taking so much away from the kids that, like, they don't have classes like German. They don't have classes like French. You know, we can only afford Spanish. So everyone takes Spanish.
Right.
That's not fair to kids, you know. They should have all of these options, even if they want to flunk through.
That's the difficult part about talking about politics, even with the opposition, is that you're not going off like a basis of reality. Like, so I was seeing a woman, and she turned out to be a Republican, And by seeing her, I said, well, we hung out like 2 days.
Yeah.
We made out once, and then she turned out to be a Republican, so I was like, I got to end this. But one of the last conversations we had was she was saying how, there's kids in Lorraine, the schools in Lorraine, they're allowing them to pee in litter boxes. I was like, that's not, she was convinced it was happening.
You see what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah.
You can come in. There's a shortage. Please join us.
Like,
what are you gonna do? Like, if you like all these people complaining, come to the water's bloody. Like it is.
Right.
These are dangerous times. Like there's a lot of demands and there's very little like thanks, and the expectations keep getting higher and higher, and you're like, but I'm given the same amount of stuff, and I'm trying to do all this, and it's not fair to anybody.
Yeah, and if you're too far left, sometimes you're screaming about the Epstein files, and what are you going to do about that? Yes, you're not wrong.
Look, I'm glad I'm not a history teacher, because mostly I'm just trying to teach them like what I focus on in my teaching. So we do like broadcast journalism, and then luckily for me, they don't really want to talk politics. They want to do who won the game. Who I'm here with. But I'm like, please stop saying that. You know what I mean? We call it soft news. I did teach them hard news versus soft news. I'm like, this is all soft news.
That's fun, though. That is really fun.
But that's what they care, because community matters in a young age.
You're getting a very intimate interaction with a culture.
Yeah.
That you probably, like, I would not have had myself, even like, because I don't know, even when I go out and do stand-up, I I don't talk to anybody. I don't interact with too many people. And there's a lot of newer, younger comics that I just kind of like, they know who I am. We see each other.
Too. We don't need to talk every second of the day. I think that's like a new generation. They're like, I always need to be doing something. We're like, I know how to sit quietly. I'm like, let time pass.
Right.
They don't know how to do that. They're like, I need to be doing something right now.
Now that I do comedy full time,
I could sit quietly at the bar and be like, I'm fine. And they're like, I need something to do. I need to be talking.
Sometimes I'll go up just for the noise of it. Sometimes I'll go up to Edgewater Cafe. I love going to that bar. I love the people who show up there. I love their staff, and I love the noise of that bar. That's what I don't drink, so
yeah.
That's what I look for in a bar. It's not necessarily what they have.
It's the background noise.
Is the good noise.
Yeah.
I can tell you all the bars with the good noises.
No, but I mean, like, maybe that could be your next podcast. Primo. Y'all hear this in here?
Yeah. Oh, wow. You guys catching this?
Wow. Right? And like, hey, if it's good news. No, like, think it back to like school too. That's one thing so like you only know what you know. And that's why I'm always trying to like have the kids. I talk about what I know, or I try to share like my experience, because they only know what they know, and they're closed-minded. You're all closed-minded unless you're exposed to it. And I remember
even closed-mindedness; they just don't know that it's there.
Yeah, and I remember like I never knew that I had a very gifted schooling. I feel like people like shit talk like, oh, school in the 90s, school in the 2000s, but I remember having electives. I work at a school where they don't really have those. Like they are only a small amount of class, because you can only afford so much so many teachers. So like, I remember I took Korean, but I was also at an Army base, like, and that was my high school language elective. I didn't have to take anything when I came to America, but all they offered was Spanish and French. Like,
yeah, it's so funny how we teach like a second language, because it's more of like a suggestion to learn it, but you don't need to know it.
But like, think of like, I mean, when I went to school in Streetsboro, that's not like a fancy place. We had electives like drama. We had electives like morning announcements. They didn't really have like, their electives are like OST prep, test prep.
Really?
There's a drama club, but it has to happen after school. There's not a drama class. There isn't like, I think all the classes that I thought were like extremely fun, they're not there anymore, because it's only content based. And if there is an elective, it's like Black American Lit, or like I said, test prep. So you can now have additional class to get your grade up, so we can get, again, the politics of it and the state report card up and do all this. But
interesting, because do they still do? I know I had to do like a test every year through the state.
Yeah, the OST. Well, I was gonna say, fun fact. That school is they used to live by is a 4-star school, and we're like one of the only 4-star schools in Cleveland, which I think is really cool. Most of these schools are like 2.5, but it's all like...
I'm kind of shocked that they have a broadcasting class.
It's not. It's me. It's me.
Right.
It's me with 4 Canon cameras I found in the school. Some tripods I found.
So you started this up.
It was like the kids loved it because we like did clubs one year, and my boss wanted to all do a
this
club.
is how you're a better human being than I'll ever be.
They were foaming at the mouth for it.
I would never do extra work.
Well, it was like during school hours.
Oh, okay.
And like, it is a little bit because I have to edit most of it because the Wi-Fi is trash at the school. I can't even get CapCut going. But it was like we tried a thing one year where we were doing like symposiums exposing kids to like, because we don't have enough electives. So I had a principal who's like, I care, I'm passionate. Let's do a symposium. You guys can teach them something you know how to do, whether it be baking, French culture. I don't care, but I want these kids to have exposure, which I respect that. I was like, I like to make videos. So I guess I'll make some like videos. And it was just such a thing where I had to like kick kids out. I was like, all right, I can only take 20 seats. Like, why is there a line out? Because they all want to be in it.
Yeah.
Because kids love being on video, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're so used to it, too. Yeah. My nephews are so comfortable around cameras.
After, like, this is over, I have to show you an example. Because it's...
And, like, I don't know. It's kind of odd to me that, like, even though we have more exposure to other cultures in an outside world, more than any other generation coming up has that available to them, we still have to get them, because what you're saying, you only know what you know. So if you don't know that, like, you could look up other things on the internet, like what's it like in France or what's it like in other places of the world. Like, you could literally walk through the streets of Montreal on Google Earth. Can you imagine, like, because sometimes I'll do that because I'm such a nerd. No. I will, like, go find a place that I would love to go, but I've never been. So I'll just, like, literally, like, on Google Earth, walk a street or two.
No, you get it. You're old. Like, we're so humble. We're like, whoa, you guys don't understand how cool
this
it's
is
like
amazing.
What I said about editing. Like, with CapCut, like, I grew up on iMovie. It was the one before iMovie on, like, all those old Macs. Now, like, I started using CapCut last year. I said, you just click remove background. You don't have to put a green screen up and then manually erase it. It's a click.
Right.
Y'all, get out of my, like, stop complaining. This is too hard. Shut up. I need to stop saying shut up. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
But I am there to
zip it.
I need you to shut that mouth. You're my nurse. My blood pressure on my belly. Okay?
Simmer down now. You should bring that back.
Yeah, I should. Like, hey, you want me to really cook or simmer down?
Simmer down now. There you go.
No, I'll probably say it tomorrow.
Full circle.
Listen, if you ever want to, you're getting a teaching. It's like you get to do stand-up and they just can't leave for like 7, 8 class periods. 7 class periods, 1 break in the day, 1 for lunch too. And that one break,
like that. I like the option of them being able to leave.
They're not able to leave. Wait till the bell rings. You leave when I dismiss you. I want to be that bitch. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, you have to. It's prison rules.
It is. I have to punch out the biggest kid in the class.
Yeah, you have to assert your dominance right away.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially when you're small too. It's just like I have to find my in.
Well, I mean, I think it's small and a woman.
Yeah. No, I convinced.
I say the same thing to Strank. Yeah. I was like, you're a small.
Strank probably does pretty good. He's
I was like,
friendly.
you're a small woman.
Yeah, he is a small woman. I'm sure he's so good with his kid. I can't even imagine him as a teacher. All right, guys, let's start.
I can't imagine any of my friends who are teachers as teachers because I know them outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
And they're all like, most of them are degenerates.
I know, that's what but the degenerates make the best teachers because, like, I know the chaos, so I'm going to teach you. Also, I, like, think about it all the time. Like, I'm trying to be a role model out here for all the weird kids. Weird kids love me. They always, like, every year, drama club loves me. All the drama kids. Like, you want to be the person that you wish you saw when you were young, right? You're like, oh, look, there's a weird teacher with ADD, all disheveled. I can be them one day. Like, it's something you can look up to. And I think you should have teachers that like are gay, wear nail polish, because again, if the kids are exposed to it, then they're like, oh, that's not weird.
It's normalized, yeah.
We had like one teacher that wears nail polish, and some of the boys are like, why you wear nail polish, miss? I was like, because he can. What's the big, like,
right?
You're supposed to be hip to this. Catch up, yeah. Losers, L's.
Yeah, L's.
Why don't you try to be a W like your teacher?
Well, I think that's generally, if I were a teacher or like a counselor or something like that, I would probably be gravitated towards the more eccentric kids. Because,
I love them, yeah.
Because one thing I've learned now that I'm back out and dating, that I am a lot more specific of a person than I thought, or a little bit more pickier of a person I want to interact with. Like, I can't tell you how I'm just swiping left constantly. So I'm like, there's never in a million years I would ever fucking talk to that person. Yeah. Why would I give a shit? Like, why am I going to swipe right on them when I already know we're going to have nothing in common, and they're going to like look at me like a strange, like alien type person? Why am I going to put myself in that situation? Because
you have something rare called
conventionally they're attractive. You know what I mean?
You have something rare called like, self-love. People are very desperate out there, and they want anything.
Well, I don't know.
I actually want to be happy.
That far, but
well, but I mean, like, you're not going to swipe on something that you wouldn't normally swipe on, because you're not that desperate. And I think like everyone needs to hold themselves to some standards.
Well, it's not that I shouldn't. This is such a weird way to put this, because it's not that I'm not.
Don't suffer no more. Like, you know what I mean? You're 40, so like, I don't got the time for you to do.
Yeah, this isn't changing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's not worth the stress. You see, I'm like, I can't deal with stress. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, you don't want to put up airs anymore. I think that's the cool thing about being old too. You're like, I'm not here to impress no one.
Yeah. Right? I'm also kind of like, again, like, I'm able to go with the flow too. Like,
you should be wanting to impress me, right? That's the take on that mentality. You walk in and like, you should, instead of make her nervous, you should try to impress me. I think.
I mean, I kind of had that.
I'm going to start psyching people out. You should.
I kind of had that attitude a little bit with my divorce, because, like, I lost a lot of stuff in the divorce, but she lost the most valuable thing in her life.
Me.
Right.
I know. That's how I feel all the time. I'm like, sucks to not have me.
Well, you're not wrong.
I know.
Well, there's a possibility where I might be just full of shit.
Yeah. But, like, I know it's a good life. No complaints.
I'm not hating on it. I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't like how slutty I've been.
Yeah, you're allowed to. It's part of
it's weird, because it's not even intentionally slutty. Like, I don't want to be slutty, but some of these women can tend to be very fickle. And they say they want a relationship, so I hang out with them thinking that it's going to develop into a relationship, and then it fizzles out quickly.
It's so funny, because I was even telling like some of my kids this today. I was like driving to school, and I had like one of those epiphanies, like, I'm so insightful. And it's like, this generation's biggest problem is cheating 2 ways on all their assignments, because they're afraid to like fail and look stupid, and just with people. They're always cheating with people. I just feel like everyone's really afraid to be truly authentic and fail at anything.
Yes.
But like, I see like kids like literally try to chat GPT directions. I'm like, I hate you. Did you just try to chat GPT directions? Yes, I saw that. Like, but you see it with like people too. Like, it's so easy to just swipe or find someone that fits you, or this perception of you that like, it's too easy to cheat. It's too easy to cheat on like an assignment or something, an idea, because you could just get it faked for you, or to like cheat on a person too. How many of those profiles you look at are like probably ChatGPT profiles?
Yeah, but there's I would say 1 out of 10.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
1
like,
out of 10 profiles you're looking at. But they're so obvious that they're like,
maybe to you, but it takes, because you're tech savvy, it takes a tech eye to start being like, oh, that's redundant. You know? A lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's normal to use hyphens like that. You're like, no, that's only ChatGPT that uses hyphens like that. I think you're allowed to. It does suck, though. That's why people are like that, because they're like, I'll leave you before you leave me. And you're like, well, I thought we were trying to start something.
Well, it's not like it was intentionally like, oh, I want to get out there. And like, I had my slutty phase already, or like my hoe phase, because like, you know, I have a lot of female friends. Most of my friends are female, especially now, but because I lost most of my male friends in the divorce, but a lot of them were saying that like, oh, you need to go through a hoe phase. You need to go through a hoe phase. I'm like, what happened in your life that like you now in your 40s think somebody needs a hoe phase?
And it's also like not that luxurious. You're like, oh, now I'm waking up in a weird bed and it's weird smells. Like, I don't feel very proud of myself. You know, like
I don't even know this person.
Maybe it's cute when you're 20 because like things are a little more taut. You know, I don't know what, but you know, when you're 40, you're like, oh God.
Well, you only know what you know.
Yeah, I have heartburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just try not to think that much. See, when I go out there, I try to be cocky, even if it's fake. You know, you psych them out, but like, this person's about to be very lucky to have the pleasure of sitting near me. I hope they know that.
That's the big thing I've been working on all of this year is just being a little bit more, confident, but like comfortable with myself. Yeah. And
well, you gotta know you're probably a bigger catch than like half the people out there. It's bad. A lot of dudes who like fishing. A lot of dudes who just go to the gym. A lot of people who have actually no personality. They're just a series of Netflix.
I was joking around about that recently about how like maybe I just hate people who hold fish up to cameras.
Well, and I actually think a lot of people are boring.
Yes.
And you're kind of shocked by you're like, oh, the conversation's over. Like I got everything I know about you. And
well, I mean that's also kind of why I guess things progress quickly for me because every woman I have ever been on an app date with, they've always Googled me thinking that they're clever. Yeah. Like they do that for everybody, but I am a person who is very, I have an online presence where there's a lot of me on the internet. And, so by the time we even get to our first date, they feel like they already know me.
Yeah. You can't blame them, though. That's just, I feel like it's an expectation at this point. I remember, like, when we were young, we're like, oh, I shouldn't look at his face. But now it's like, oh, it's the norm, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they want to see if
everybody's Googling everybody.
Yeah. They want to see if, like, I have a criminal record or there's something I'm hiding or I'm telling lies about my divorce because that's public information. Things like that. So it is interesting to me by the time they get to that date, they feel like they've seen they've seen a few of my videos. There's a lot, they probably listen to a podcast. They feel a connection to me at that point. So,
you don't have anything to go off on them.
Yeah. And then, I'm funny.
Well, you might have the problem where they get the false perception of you. And now you have to live up to this false sense of who they created and sorry, I'm not always like that 100% of the time. You watched a podcast. I'm not always, which is probably edited too, you know what I mean? So it looks like I'm sharp all the time.
I love that guy online. That guy is not me. Yeah. It's a version of me, but that's a version of me that I'm showing people. I love that guy. Yeah. That guy's great. But I'm not that guy.
Yeah, no, it's too, I feel like someone that's on camera, someone that's editing, you have to think of it as a persona. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or it doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah,
it's probably same shit that probably happens with Larry David. Everyone thinks he's going to be Larry David, and now that he goes out in public, he probably has, or at least he gets to act a certain way.
I assume he's an old asshole and an old man.
That is also the nice thing about because I'm an idiot and sometimes I'll say things that are inappropriate, thinking it's completely innocuous. But
that's ADHD.
Oh, really?
It's one of the symptoms. Yeah.
Really?
It's one of the things that make it hard for people with ADD is we don't know, we overshare, we don't mean to, because you're not thinking before you speak. You ever hear that when you're a kid? You need to think before, that's what it is.
There's no filter between my brain and my mouth.
It's an ADD thing. That and bad driving too. At least that's what my therapist used to tell me. Yeah, I got overstimulated. That,
and I got in trouble recently too with I shared a story about somebody, and somebody else thought it was about them, and it wasn't about them at all. It's such a weird circumstance that both their stories are so similar.
Yeah, no one would have known, but you put yourself out there.
But I never named names.
I know, but like sometimes people name themselves. No one would have thought anything of it if you didn't say anything. So.
Which, is funny to me that like the person who was about did not contact me. The person who wasn't about, who they were upset about it.
See, I don't even have an energy to be upset about anything anymore.
Same. But, and then that's also another reason why for comedians or somebody like what I do is like relationships don't last long, because I am very honest about my life on this podcast or just on stage. And then these women realize like, oh shit, he's going to talk about me, even if I don't name names.
Like I say, like,
some women are fine with it, or they say that they're fine with it. But like the last one that I really liked, she was cool, but like I know that's why she ended things, because she realized like, oh shit.
Well, it's better now than like 13 years from now. And that's like another thing too. Like I relish an honest conversation. Like if it's not working, don't drag people along.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly also how I knew my relationship with Miranda was over.
Yeah.
Because I have never been in trouble for anything I've ever said in that relationship. She kind of either rolled with it, thought it was funny. She knows I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
She was very like understanding of it. And then like one of the last conversations we had, she got mad about something I had said or something I was like processing even.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like I was just more like talking my way through, and something I think it was like Israel Palestine or something like that. And she's like, yeah, you need to stop talking about it. Because I'm not like, I can't handle you talking about it right now. I'm not in a place where I can listen to it. And I was like, oh, this relationship is over.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple other things that happened.
No, but then like once you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's not worth keeping alive.
No. And I'm thankful that like I literally would not change anything I have done. And I'm thankful that I got to walk away with that mentality.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I've turned out really good with all like that's what you want at the end of the day. You want to be a great person, right? Has it figured out. Not figured out, but like someone that's not like constantly struggling. So if you're in that situation, you're always struggling with like, I'm unhappy, right? I'm just trying to like live the dream. Have a good life. Summer's off. That's it. That's like, I'm not trying to make it harder than
That's
that, right?
the W.
I know. I don't even, like, I'm not trying to get like a bonus at work. I'm not trying to be teacher of the year. I'm just trying to do my job effectively, have my summers off. Because time is money and summer is money. If I didn't have that, I don't think I could make it. I need time off.
I don't know if I agree with the whole time is money thing, because money can be gained. Money can be earned.
Yeah.
You cannot earn time back.
That's why, like, I never work in the summer. I think that's how I'm going to keep myself sane. And I feel so bad that, like, people don't have time off. I can't imagine. Every year I'm just like, all right, I just got to make it till this month and I won't die. Right? And you guys don't have that. You're like, oh, it's every week.
Right.
Like, I'm already like, what's today? I think, yeah, we got one more day. And then I call it T-minus day. Like, you're 1 month out from every holiday. You just got to make it till then.
Yeah.
And that's it. You got to make it to that break. Like, oh my God.
Time.
Yeah, I hate you guys. But I know we have next Thursday off, so I got a day.
How are you at planning?
I'm an excellent planner. Yeah. Like, what is it? The kids are like, you're so organized online. And then you like look at my space, it's not organized, but I can organize online. Anything, I'm like really good at like, if it's audience facing, I can make it look organized, but if it's my stuff, it's not organized. If it's for an audience or for someone else, then it's organized.
Interesting.
You know?
Because I'm terrible at planning. Like, I am literally like a day-by-day person.
Yeah.
I'm just very, I guess, when it comes to my work, I'm good at planning.
Because you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, you just need,
But when it comes to anything else, like what am I doing today or like what's going on over the weekend? No fucking clue.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes my mom will be like, what do you do next Wednesday? I'm like, I haven't even thought that far.
Yeah, no. Who does that?
Right. Moms.
People with kids.
Yeah.
Because they have to.
That's true.
Yeah. They're like, Tina has a dentist appointment. You're like, oh, okay.
Tina's got
You know, like, I don't know.
I mean, also, too, I have the, not having children, we have the luxury of being depressed or having anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, I do joke around with some of my friends who have kids. I'm like, oh, I got to be depressed today.
Oh, I love it. I bedroll all the time. It's a long day.
Yeah.
But I also know I'm selfish. And, like, at least I can admit it. I go home. I don't have to feed no one. I don't have to pay attention to no one. That's good for me. Like,
yeah.
I think that there are people that have kids and they're the same way. And it's like, well, you do, though. Technically, you should feed that kid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Like, maybe when I'm old and I have, like, time, because that's the most important thing. Like, if I have time and I'm not working all the fucking time, I'm not working from, like, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or whatever it may be, then that's when you should have a kid. But a lot of people aren't away from that. They can't be. You can't afford it.
If you were to tell... Oh, I like this question. If you were to tell... Oh, no, I'm stealing this from somebody now when I think of it. If you were to tell your 18-year-old self what you know now, or like one piece of information of knowledge, what you think it would be?
Buy crypto. And live an easy life. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'll still go through the trial and tribulations, but if I'm rich, then I'm not stressing.
Right.
Because I remember, like, that was the hardest part of growing up is, like, being poor on top of everything else. You're like, I'm failing my classes, and I'm poor. Like, I don't have enough for rent.
Right.
So, like, if I had crypto, then, what would...
Remember how ridiculous we all thought it sounded? Like, this what? Like,
so we're at the great age that we could have been millionaires, right? Because we could have invested in Facebook. We could have invested in Amazon. So, like, if I could go back, I would live a very easy life. I'd buy one crypto, and I'd be laughing.
Well, you also think about it, like, even our parents. Like, my dad is in tech. My dad's a computer engineer. He understands the internet on a very... He probably understands it better than me.
Yeah.
And I grew up with it. But, like, he should... in my head, I'm like, oh, he should have invested in a lot of those companies.
See what I mean? Because then your life could be so easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he worked with them.
Yeah.
He worked for some of them.
But you didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't... Like, what's
you
the one
know
big
what
story?
You know.
Yeah. Well, like, Facebook. I remember... the artist that, like, painted their entrance, like, he was given Facebook stock instead of money. Or I think he was paid half in money, half in Facebook stock. Made a killing off that stock. I don't know. What would life be like if, like, you had just regular worries, but not also, like, economic worries on top of that? That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
Like, oh, no, I just have my boyfriend problems. It's like, I'm like, oh, no, I'm about to be evicted, right? Like, what is that like?
Oh, women only want to sleep with me.
Because I have money. Like, that's fine.
Now that I look at it that way, it's like kind of a ridiculous complaint.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, everyone wants to be my friend because I'm rich and famous. Well, I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
You could have no one that wants to befriend you. Or you could have to work 3 jobs. You know, like, that's what I'm like, I would love. What is it like to have all that free time when I was young and creative? I could have done something cool with that. Maybe I could have been in a band that toured, but I was working 3 jobs.
It's true.
Yeah, you really.
Well, I mean, I was very poor during that time.
But think about, like, COVID. People were like, I love to break, because people had time to do something. Because they weren't forced to constantly be working.
You ain't got to tell me. I was working my ass off during COVID because everybody had time to do a podcast.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
so this podcast studio had like 17 podcasts.
That's sweet.
Not coming through it.
Yeah.
They would hire me remotely. I didn't even have to leave my house. I did from my like little office in my house.
People had time. Like, and that, people deserve that back. Like, it's sad how much... I think that was really good for the pandemic, too, is people were like, I want to do puzzles. I want to draw. Good for you, like, because you don't have time to. We've lost a lot of that. If we had the downtime.
How was it teaching for you during the pandemic?
It's like being on YouTube. Like, you just are, I was the best teacher, never had any questions. That was the first time. Any questions? Again? Oh, I nailed it, right? No one would ever interact with you because it's, like, online. So it was just like, it's like being a YouTuber. What's up, y'all? Hey, everyone. All right, we're going to learn about this. Yeah, that's how I did it. But I also feel bad because I'm tech savvy, right? Can you imagine, like, you got Edna, she's been teaching 40 years, and like, now you have to teach it on a computer.
Your choice
she's
of
like,
names have been hilarious.
She's like, what the fuck? I got to teach it on a computer now? Like, she can't. I feel so bad for, like, those kind of teachers.
Poor Edna.
No.
Yeah, I mean.
Probably knows Donathan. I love that name. I was like, are you sure? Yes, it's Donathan.
Was there anything we didn't cover?
No, I think we're good because I'm hungry now. I gotta eat dinner.
Well, thank you for doing this. This is a great conversation. Yeah. I knew this would be because I knew you had such an interesting upbringing. So thank you again for doing this.
I think the only thing is probably don't put anything about my brother's Asian problems.